When Eyes Wide Shut arrived in 1999, no one realized they were watching Stanley Kubrick's final puzzle, a film layered with symbols, secrets, and psychological traps designed to disorient and deceive. Nothing in it is accidental, not the colors, not the mirrors, not even the way characters breathe. Kubrick built a world where every detail hints at what's really going on behind the masks, behind the marriages, behind the Venetian smiles. Here are 20 hidden details you completely missed in Eyes Wide Shut. Number 1, the opening shot reveals the whole movie. The film begins with Alice dropping her dress in a mirror, not facing the camera, not in profile, in reflection. It's the first clue that everything we see will be filtered through distortion, illusion, and subjective memory. Director Stanley Kubrick uses mirrors in over 60 shots throughout the film, each one meant to signal that a character is lying to the world or to themselves. The movie tells you from frame 1 that nothing is literal. Every conversation, every encounter, every confession exists in refraction. You're not watching truth, you're watching what characters want to believe is truth. And the difference between those two realities is where Kubrick hides his meaning. The mirror isn't decoration, it's the film's thesis, written in glass and angles. Cause in Eyes Wide Shut, identity is always performed. Number 2, the apartment lighting changes with their marriage. Bill and Alice's home appears warm and golden early on, glowing with soft amber tones that suggest comfort and intimacy. But as their trust deteriorates, the lighting shifts. Kubrick literally drains the color from their relationship scene by scene. The apartment becomes increasingly blue and dim, the warmth replaced by cold fluorescent shadows. By the midpoint, their home lighting resembles a sterile hospital. The glow is gone, the intimacy extinct. It's a visual metaphor for emotional death, executed with such subtlety that most viewers never consciously register the transformation. Cinematographer Larry Smith worked with Kubrick to design lighting cues that tracked the marriage's collapse in real time, each frame a little more lifeless. The apartment doesn't just house their relationship, it mirrors it, breath by breath, until nothing warm remains. Number 3, the film is structured like a dream loop. Bill's journey follows classic dream logic, repetition of places, characters appearing in multiple roles, conversations that contradict each other, locations that shift between visits. Kubrick designed the entire story to feel like a dream you barely understand but can't forget. Time dilates, geography warps, people say things that make sense in the moment but dissolve under scrutiny. Bill moves through the night like a sleepwalker, following impulses he doesn't control, reacting to threats he doesn't fully comprehend. The film refuses to confirm whether events are literal or imagined. Kubrick wanted that ambiguity preserved. He structured scenes to loop back on themselves, creating circular narratives that trap Bill in repeating patterns. Because dream logic doesn't care about continuity, it cares about obsession, and Bill is trapped in his. Number 4, the costume shop hides clues to the secret society. The masks in the background aren't random props. They match the masks worn at the mansion ritual. If you pause during Bill's first visit to Rainbow Fashions, you'll see Venetian designs, animal features, and ornate golden masks hanging on the walls. Kubrick planted an early warning. Bill steps into the conspiracy long before he realizes it. The shop owner's knowing smile, the daughter's uncomfortable silence. Even the child mannequin in the corner foreshadows the shop owner's disturbing business practices, hinted at but never confirmed. The costume shop isn't just a store, it's a threshold, a liminal space where the ordinary world connects to the hidden one. Kubrick filled the set with masks used later in the film, creating visual echoes that only register on repeat viewings. Bill just wasn't looking. Number 5, Tom Cruise was directed to act emotionally numb. Kubrick instructed Tom Cruise to underplay almost every scene, giving Bill an unsettling emotional flatness that borders on dissociation. This wasn't accidental. Bill moves through the film in a dreamlike trance, unable to react appropriately to anything. He barely flinches at death. He shows no fear during genuine threats. He processes trauma with the affect of someone watching from outside his own body. Kubrick wanted him to feel like a man watching his life instead of living it. Cruise struggled with the direction initially, trained to project charisma and emotional clarity, but Kubrick insisted on restraint, on numbness, on disconnection. The result is a performance that feels alien, like Bill is moving through life on autopilot while some deeper part of him remains frozen. Not the masks, not the rituals, the realization that Bill feels nothing. Number 6, Nicole Kidman's dialogue was filmed with no Tom Cruise allowed on set. To amplify tension between the married characters, Kubrick filmed Nicole Kidman's monologue scenes privately. Cruise wasn't allowed anywhere near the set during filming, even though he wanted to watch. Kubrick banned him deliberately, forcing Kidman to perform her confessions in total isolation. The distance you feel in their relationship wasn't just acting. Kubrick engineered it for months. He kept the actors separated during key emotional scenes, preventing them from building rapport or finding comfort in each other's presence. The result is a marriage that feels profoundly disconnected, two people sharing space space but existing in separate realities. And when the scenes finally played opposite crews, the coldness was already baked in, because Kubrick didn't want chemistry, he wanted estrangement. Number 7, the newspaper headlines reveal the cover-up. If you pause the scene where Bill reads about the mysterious woman's death, you'll see headlines that contradict the police's version of events. One newspaper reports a party girl overdose, another calls it a mansion scandal. The articles don't align, the media is shown as part of the conspiracy, quietly scrubbing the truth. Kubrick designed multiple prop newspapers with conflicting stories, each one offering a slightly different narrative. The inconsistencies weren't mistakes, they were intentional markers that the official story is fabricated. Look closer and you'll notice the obituary details shift between sources. The timeline doesn't match. Even the woman's name changes depending on which paper you read. Kubrick wanted viewers to question everything, to recognize that truth in this world is negotiable. Because in Eyes Wide Shut, power doesn't hide crimes, it rewrites them. Number 8, the pianist signals who's watching Bill. Whenever the pianist appears, note his eye line. He's always glancing off screen at someone observing Bill. Kubrick uses him as a guide character, silently warning Bill that he's being tracked long before the plot confirms it. The pianist isn't just playing music, he's playing messenger. His nervous glances, his coded warnings, his desperate attempts to steer Bill away from danger. He knows more than he says, and his presence marks every moment when Bill is under surveillance. The character serves as the closest thing the movie has to a conscience, someone trying to save Bill from his own curiosity, and the pianist's fear grows with each encounter, his eyes darting toward unseen watchers, his warnings becoming more urgent, a character whose entire purpose is to look at what the audience can't see. Number 9, the red and blue code. Whenever danger, desire, or deception is happening, Kubrick lights scenes in deep red tones. Whenever characters lie to Bill or hide information, the lighting shifts to ice blue. The color coding is precise and unrelenting. Red marks transgression, blue marks concealment, and during key moments, both colors overlap, signaling that Bill is in a place where truth and danger meet. Cinematographer Larry Smith used colored gels and practical lights to create the effect, bathing entire locations in saturated hues that border on surreal. The technique gives the film its dreamlike visual language, a world that doesn't look quite real because it isn't meant to. Kubrick wanted color to function as emotion, as warning, as subconscious cue. Every frame is coded, every scene tells you what's happening before the dialogue confirms it. Number 10, the ritual chanting is reversed Romanian. The ritual's audio is a Romanian priest's blessing played backward. Kubrick picked it specifically because blessing plus reversal equals blasphemy, a thematic inversion of faith. The film hides religious symbolism everywhere, but this is the loudest one in plain sight. The chant sounds ancient, otherworldly, vaguely liturgical. Most viewers assume it's a constructed language or nonsense syllables designed to sound ceremonial, but it's real. It's sacred text, deliberately corrupted. Kubrick wanted the ritual to feel like a dark mass, a perversion of religious ceremony conducted by people who understand exactly what they're inverting. The reversed audio creates an unsettling dissonance, something that sounds almost holy but registers as profoundly wrong. It mocks him, and the ritual is their sermon, delivered in a language that twists devotion into desecration. Number 11, Ziegler's pool table scene was rewritten 70 times. Kubrick rewrote Ziegler's confession scene repeatedly, adjusting hints about the secret society's reach. Every version becomes slightly less clear. He wanted the audience stuck in Bill's position, uncertain whether Ziegler is telling the truth or performing damage control. Sidney Pollack, who played Ziegler, later said the scene evolved constantly during production. Kubrick would rewrite entire sections overnight, changing Ziegler's explanations, shifting blame, adding new ambiguities. The final version leaves everything unresolved. Ziegler offers answers, but they don't quite fit. His story has holes. His tone shifts between friendly and threatening. And by the end, you still don't know what really happened. Was the masked woman really Mandy? Did she really overdose? Or is Ziegler lying to protect something larger? Because the film doesn't believe in closure. It believes in doubt. Number 12, Domino's apartment foreshadows Alice. The posters, the color palette, even the clothes hanging in the corner all echo design elements from Bill's home. Kubrick created a subliminal connection between the two women. Domino represents the alternate life Bill is chasing, one that collapses instantly. Her apartment mirrors Alice's aesthetic in subtle ways. The same warm lighting Bill is losing at home, the same domestic details he's fleeing, the same vulnerability he's attracted to but terrified of confronting. Production designer Leslie Tompkins built the set to function as a visual echo, a distorted reflection of what Bill already has. Kubrick wanted the apartment to feel familiar and unsettling at once, a place Bill recognizes without understanding why, because he's not looking for someone new, he's looking for a version of Alice that doesn't know him yet. Number 13, the mask on Bill's pillow is a direct warning. The mask showing up in Bill's bed isn't just a threat, it's proof someone was inside inside his home while he slept. The angle of placement mirrors Alice's sleeping posture, meaning the intruder stood inches from her face. Kubrick wanted that moment to feel like psychological intrusion, not just physical. The mask isn't randomly tossed on the bed, it's deliberately positioned, placed with care. A message written in proximity and violation. Someone entered Bill's most private space, stood over his unconscious wife, and left evidence of their presence as a warning. The bed is supposed to be sanctuary. Instead, it becomes proof that nowhere is safe. And Bill's delayed reaction, his slow realization of what the mask's placement means, turns the moment into visceral horror. It already happened, and Bill slept through it. Number 14, the mansion's masked circle has hidden hierarchy. Masks with animal features indicate lower-ranking members. Fully sculpted Venetian masks indicate wealth and power. Bill's plain white mask is a clue. He does not belong here, and everyone instantly knows it. Kubrick designed the mask hierarchy to function as visual class system, a way to show status without dialogue. The animal masks are crude, almost carnivalesque. The Venetian masks are ornate, gilded, museum quality, and Bill's rental stands out immediately, cheap and generic among custom artworks. The masked figures don't need to speak to recognize an outsider. Production designer Roy Walker worked with mask artisans to create over 100 unique designs, each one assigned a specific rank in the unspoken social order. The result is a room where power is legible at a glance, and Bill is transparently powerless. Number 15, Bill's fantasies are filmed like horror scenes. Whenever Bill imagines Alice with the naval officer, Kubrick uses handheld shaky shots, unnatural lighting, and distorted breathing. They're the only scenes shot this way. The rest of the film maintains Kubrick's signature steady framing, but Bill's jealousy is captured like found footage, chaotic and invasive. Kubrick wanted Bill's jealousy to feel like physical violence inside his mind. The fantasy sequences aren't erotic, they're traumatic, shot in jagged close-ups and overexposed lighting that makes flesh look alien. The naval officer's face is never shown. Alice's pleasure feels weaponized, and the entire sequence is designed to feel like assault, not fantasy. It's pure torment. He's destroyed, and the film makes you feel that destruction as sensory overload, a violation performed entirely inside his skull. Number 16, the secret society symbol appears repeatedly. Look for the star-like emblem seen at the mansion. It appears on door frames, hotel carpets, and even on a wall behind Ziegler. It's Kubrick's way of suggesting the group controls more than just one house. Their reach is everywhere. The symbol is never explained, never highlighted. You have to notice it yourself, and once you do, you start seeing it in every location Bill visits. The symbol isn't branding, it's territory marking. A quiet assertion that this world, this city, this entire reality belongs to people Bill will never meet. Production designer Leslie Tompkins embedded the emblem in over 30 locations, hidden in wallpaper patterns, carved into furniture, stitched into fabric, because in Eyes Wide Shut, the secret society isn't hidden, it's just invisible to those without power. Number 17, Kubrick quietly reveals the masked woman is Mandy. Kubrick never states it outright, but he leaves a trail of clues proving the woman who saves Bill at the mansion is Mandy from Ziegler's bathroom. Her height, posture, and whisper match Mandy exactly. She wears the same gold-accented aesthetic, the same shoes, and even repeats Mandy's earlier warning tone word for word. A faint shoulder tattoo appears for a split second, identical to Mandy's. Even her collapse mirrors the exact choreography of Mandy's overdose scene. And when Ziegler grows defensive during his explanation, he slips and refers to her as someone they both already knew. The masked woman isn't a mystery guest, it's Mandy, trying to save Bill one last time. Kubrick shot the scenes months apart and never told the crew they were connected. Number 18, the mask Cruise wears reflects the film's theme. His mask has neutral, unreadable features. No expression, no identity, no personality. It means he brings no true identity to the world he's entering. Kubrick used masks as commentary. Everyone is pretending, hiding, performing. Bill is the only one who doesn't realize he needs a persona to survive here. His mask is blank because he is blank. He enters the mansion as an empty vessel, a man with no defined self trying to access a world built on artifice. And the masked figures recognize it immediately. They see through him not because he's obvious, but because he's absent. There's nothing behind his mask because there's nothing behind Bill. He's been performing his entire life. Doctor, husband, man, but none of it is real. Number 19, the toy store ending is not happy. While the film closes in a bright toy store, every shelf behind Alice and Bill is stacked with masks. Toy masks, children's masks, carnival masks. Symbolically, nothing has changed. They're still surrounded by false faces. The final word, f***, is meant to represent the only honest thing said in the entire movie. After 2 hours of evasion, performance, and coded language, Alice cuts through it with brutal directness. The toy store isn't resolution, it's continuation. The masks follow them, the performance continues. continues, and the only difference is that now they both know they're performing, but the masks are everywhere, a visual reminder that the world hasn't changed, only their awareness has, and that awareness doesn't bring peace, it just brings the knowledge that the masks never come off. Number 20. Kubrick delivered the final cut days before his death. Kubrick told Warner Brothers the film was complete only 6 days before passing away. Some believe he died before finishing final edits. Others claim the film we saw is his intended version. Either way, Eyes Wide Shut remains a cinematic riddle sealed by its own creator. The truth is unknowable. Kubrick never gave interviews explaining his choices. He left no notes clarifying ambiguities. The film exists as he left it, complete or incomplete, depending on interpretation. And that uncertainty feels appropriate. A movie about hidden meaning, locked away by the one person who understood it fully, but the European cut remains closer to Kubrick's final assembly. And even that version refuses easy answers, because Kubrick didn't make films to be solved. He made them to be experienced, questioned, and endlessly reinterpreted. Eyes Wide Shut looks like a psychological drama, but behind every frame hides a coded world of symbols, masks, and silent threats. A film where mirrors reveal more than faces, where colors track emotions, where masks follow you home. Stanley Kubrick didn't just make a movie about marriage, he made a descent into the performance of identity itself. A world where everyone wears masks and the only crime is getting caught without one. Because in Eyes Wide Shut, nothing is accidental, everything is rehearsed.